Yes guys, welcome back to the channel for another video, and this is a new type of video that I'll be doing before every single game, and it is a Michael Flynn press conference reaction. So I've got my notes from Michael Flynn's press conference ahead of the Brighton game. I'll be going through the points that he made and discussing them, and then in the comments, if you've got any questions, put them in the comments and then I'll answer them in case I missed something that he said during the press conference, if you sort of get what I mean. So if there's a point on the list that I didn't go through, put it in the comments, and if he did mention it, then I'll answer you in the comments. But if he didn't, then he didn't talk about that specific point. So let's get into the points then. I'll talk about each point a little bit in depth, but this will be quite a long video, but it's just a summary of what he's been talking about during this specific press conference, and then going through each of the points in depth. So let's get on to each of the points then and just talk about them and discuss what. So the first thing that he was asked is about the break. We've had a postponement as well, so we've had a little bit more of a break than Brighton. He did talk about Ryan Taylor and Josh Labadie coming back from injury, but he also said, there's upsetting news that Cooper and Twine have gone back to the starters this season. They've gone back from loan, and he said, the break has come at a good point, but a bad point at the same time. However, there's been a lot of time to prepare for this Brighton game, train. The two players that are going to have to fill in for Cooper and Twine, whether it is a change of formation or whether it's just like for like, he is going to have to implement two players to come in. And he did say that quite a lot in the press conference, actually. He said quite a lot there. There's a couple of players that have been in his eye. There was mention about David Long-King potentially getting his debut, but he sort of dismayed that and said that there's time now, 2 days time, for the players to respond and react and show the bottle, really, to come into the first team. So that's really the main point about that, having players back. That's the main first point of that. The second point was he was asked about Scott Twine. Now, Scott Twine, we did put a bid in for, and they just talked about it with Mike Flynn, and he basically said, nothing has come of it. Nothing has come of the bid that they put in. It hasn't developed. So he's hoping that maybe something does happen, but he said there's a lot of teams that are going to be looking at him, which is likely considering the quality of player Scott Twine is. He said there is 3 deals done. Obviously, the one, there's Owen Windsor, we all know about that. And there's 2 unnamed deals that he hasn't really, been allowed to announce yet. And then there's 3 or 4 more to come. And he was asked, sorry, there's quite a big overhaul in this window. Is there any reason for that? And he was basically just saying, 5 have been recalled, sorry. There's 2 or 3 at the club that could be leaving, so that's 7 in, 7 out roughly. So he needs to keep the squad depth for the position we're in the league and this FA Cup run if we are to beat Brighton on the weekend. Another point he was asked was about the FA Cup money. Now, this is a big point. This is probably one of the keyest points from his press conference. The FA Cup money over the past few seasons has really funded this current progress that we're actually in, being up the top of the league. And the FA Cup has really kept this club afloat. And he was mentioned about, or he was asked, sorry, about what Graham Potter said in his press conference. If you're not aware, Graham Potter basically said that they need to juggle Premier League survival and a decent cup run at the same time. But obviously, being a club like Brighton, they're going to have the squad depth to do it. They're going to have the money, the resources to be able to bring players in and stuff like that. And Flynn said, they're not going to rotate. And even if Brighton do rotate, it's not going to be, a really rubbish team. It's going to be Premier League players. And he knows Graham Potter quite well. And he said Graham is going to take this game proper seriously, because Pochettino and Guardiola have both come to Rodney Parade with strong teams, the likes of Leroy Sané, Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Son. The list goes on of the amount of quality players that have been brought to Rodney Parade to respect the FA Cup. Obviously, this is a big game for Ben White as well. Ben White is coming back to Rodney Parade if he does play. And Mike Flynn was just talking about, when he first got him on loan, it was a no-brainer. He watched a few of his clips and he said, I don't need to watch him live. I don't need to watch him live. He's a quality player. He can play the ball out from the defence. And he's done that for us brilliantly. I remember one game, I think it was Colchester at home. He won the ball in a 50-50 with, some big striker. Took the ball off him and then played a 60-yard ball, diagonal ball to Frank Nublet and got us going. And he's the type of defender that can do that. He can break up the play and then launch a 50-60-yard ball, diagonal crossfield ball to either the right-hand side, left-hand side, whichever way he's playing, and really get an attack going. He was also asked about the pitch. I mean, we've known for a long time in the history of Newport County, at Rodney Parade at least, that obviously the Dragons have been playing there, Newport Rugby have been playing there, and Newport County. The pitch can get sort of turned up and stuff like that. And he was asked, what's the pitch going to be like come Saturday evening? And he said, awful. The pitch is going to be awful. Brighton will not like that. The Amex is a slick, fast-flowing pitch. And yeah, so I think basically the general gist of this press conference is the FA Cup means so much to Newport County and to Mike Flynn personally as well. It's going to be a big game for the club, for the players, for the staff, for everyone involved with Newport County. And it's a big game for especially Ben White. I'm going to talk about a few of my key points now from the press conference. So this is going to be my 3 key points that I've dragged up from this press conference and talk to them a little bit in detail. And then obviously I'll let you comment in the comment section below if you have any questions that weren't brought up in the press conference. And like I said, I'll answer them in the comments. Let's see what my three key points are from this press conference. So the first key point that I've got is the break. Now, like I did say, we had a long break. Brighton have been playing games every few days, really. So they've had a game and then like a 2 or 3 day break, then another game, then another 2 or 3 day break. But the thing is with Premier League opposition, like I did say, they've got the finances, they've got the squad, they've got the resources to be able to train, rest, play, and that sort of consistent cycle, which, let's be fair, we don't really have. We don't have, the 30, 35-man squad where we can play a completely different team one game, then like 6 or 7 changes the next game and so forth. We can't really do that. And also we need to respect the FA Cup. He's not gonna dismay the FA Cup, and I think the reason behind that is, we need this money. We need the money for this. And the amount of money that is at stake for progression in the FA Cup, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round even, is so much, and it could mean so much to this club. So yeah, I think the break is definitely a good thing. Dismissing the FA Cup, we cannot do. It's absolutely ridiculous if that was to happen. And Mike Flynn basically said that. He said, this FA Cup means just as much to us as the league, where Premier League teams can say, oh, we'll just push the FA Cup to the wayside, focus on staying in the Premier League. We can't do that. The FA Cup has that much money in that we can't ignore it. And I think that's one of the major points that Newport County fans have to realise, if it's not going rosy in the league, well, it is this season, but in previous seasons, if it weren't going rosy in the league, try and get to the 3rd round, 4th round of the FA Cup, rake the money in, improve in the summer, and go again. So yeah, those 2 points are really in one for me, the break and the FA Cup, because they're sort of linked. The 3rd point I've got is Brighton will not rotate. Now, Brighton and Hove Albion are languishing bottom half of the Premier League. There's a chance they could get relegated this season. Yes, there's a chance they could stay up. Now, I think for this game, Brighton should put, this is a Brighton perspective now, I'm not going to be totally biased. A Brighton perspective, they should go full strength. We've beat Leicester, we drew with Spurs, we held Man City for the first half, we knocked out Middlesbrough, we knocked out Leicester, we knocked out Leeds. So they know, and obviously in the Carabao Cup we've knocked out Watford, Swansea, nearly knocked out Newcastle. So Brighton will know that this is not an easy game. And like Flynn said, they've got 2 very hard games away at Man City and away at Leeds to come in the Premier League. Now, you could say Brighton fans are more worried about the Premier League games, which they should be, because let's be fair, getting relegated from the Premier League will cost a lot of money and will take a lot of money away from the club. But I really do think it'll be a strong Brighton team that come to Rodney Parade on Sunday. So yeah, that is Michael Flynn's press conference. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure to get a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new. Comment down below any questions that you had, any points that I didn't bring up. Because there's loads of points that I wrote down, but I picked out the main key ones. But if there's anything you want to know from Michael Flynn's press conference, please let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, which is my match preview for the Brighton and Hove Albion game. And I'll see you in that. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, up the county.